So I'm scrolling through my silly little app because I have a couple minutes to myself and I see this reader talking about miracles. So I pulled out my cards and I started channeling a little message about miracles because it felt right. And I sat here talking to the camera and getting warmed up. And you know what fell out of the deck while I was doing like a silly little haha audio video? The fucking Empress. And underneath that is Justice. And underneath that is the fucking Ten of Wands. And the whole reason that I decided to turn on the camera is because I had Justice and the Lovers was underneath that, and the Nine of Cups was like peeking out. Oh, I didn't know that was under the Ten of Wands. We gotta get into it. Okay, so for those of you guys who don't know me, my name is Star and I am a tarot reader. And the way that I read cards isn't really for the collective, it's for me. I'm reading on my energy, I'm pulling on my energy, and I trust that Spirit will bring the video to whoever needs to hear it, because I do fully believe that there is a lot of mirroring in the collective energy, and we can all resonate on some level. So take what resonates, leave what does not. If you're just here because you like my energy, that's cool too. But I was specifically pulling on the idea of miracles. That's the message that I was channeling, because the word miracle stuck out like really loud, really fucking loud. So what I'm getting here with the Empress and the Justice card being together, first of all, that's big fucking energy. I don't know if you guys can feel that. See how there's yellow on the background of the Empress and the Justice card, and I also have the same yellow as my wallpaper? That's kind of fucking important. I've said this in videos before. I used to follow this reader on YouTube called Steve's Love Tarot, and he used to always say that that color of yellow is indicative of soulmates, and you'll see it a lot when you're on some kind of soulmate path. But for this one specifically, I'm channeling this feeling of your own path, your own self. So being soulmates with the self, reaching back in time to yourself in different points of time, when you need yourself. I don't know how to explain that. I talk about this all the time. I've done lots of readings about it. I've done ChatGPT videos about it. I've talked about it in my dreams, my dream videos. I've written about it. Like, I talk about this concept so much, about being so close to yourself and to the parts of yourself that are constantly reaching out to you, that you have the power to consciously reach out to them as well, right? When you can feel, when you can notice that parts of you are reaching out to yourself, something like that in this day and age would look like a part of you coming out for help, right? So some of you guys might be familiar with like the inner teen coming out and crying out for help, inner child coming out for help, things like that. But the more in touch you get with yourself, the more you do your shadow work, the more you will be able to pinpoint which part of yourself that really is, what age, what time, what trauma bonded little aspect of yourself that really is. It could be just a tiny little snapshot piece of yourself that's still there and is so potent that it is actually clinging on and just living through this loop cycle and begging for you to heal it, right? So I see that we are in this energy of sitting in our power fully embodying our power, fully embracing what that means, what the weight of that means, what that feels like here in this dimension, in this life, and what it is we are doing with that, and understanding that we are actually juggling parts of ourself here in this reality, right? And it's too easy to get lost in vices Okay, too easy. Too fucking easy. I myself have a very short temper, and my husband likes to say that it feels good, right? It feels good to scratch that itch, to yell, to get mad, to break things. And I never understood that, but I sat with it one day, and he's right. I do like that feeling of being able to let go and explode, and that is my vice. I don't smoke anymore, I don't drink anymore, I don't do drugs, I don't have anything to my name except for chocolate. Like, that's my one and only vice, and I'm taking that one with me to the grave. But it is too easy to hold on to these aspects of ourselves and just say, well, that's who I am, and you can deal with it or you can leave, right? Because a lot of society tells us that that's how we should be. That's what we should do to accept ourselves, to say, well, that's who I am, and if you don't love it, then you don't love me. And that's not particularly true, because if there is a yucky part of yourself that you don't even like, why are you going to tell other people to ingest that as you? If that's not the best version of yourself, if that's not the version of yourself that you want to portray, if that's not the version of yourself that you even want to be, why are you going to tell people to ingest that as you? You can say, that's a part of me that slipped out. That's something I'm not proud of, right? That's something I'm working on. But don't claim that as yourself 10 toes down, because when you claim that as yourself, you're telling the universe and all those versions of yourself that it's okay to accept that this is where I stop. Yeah, wow, this is where I stop. This is where I land. This is it, I guess. But if you're... Bruh. That was a whole lot of cards. Hold on, I'll look at that. If you're genuinely at the point in your life where you want to grow and you're trying really hard to adjust these parts of yourself and to work through these things, you have to understand that at some point you gotta let this go. Whatever this is, whatever this thing is that you're holding on to for dear fucking life, this version of yourself that isn't suiting you anymore, that doesn't serve you anymore, that's just dragging you along. Hierophant. Nine of Pentacles. Four of Wands. Knight of Wands. Page of Cups. Knight of Swords. King of Pentacles. Yeah, that pretty much just said what I said. Accept the version of yourself that you want to be, because it's not outside of your reach. The only way you're going to achieve that version of yourself is to visualize it, to see it, to smell it, to taste it, to be it, to talk to it. The same way you're talking to past versions of yourself, talk to future versions of yourself. Work through things with the version of yourself that's already worked through those things. That's the only way you're going to get there. Whatever you want can be within your reach. You just gotta be ballsy enough to go for it. It's right there. But also, don't be afraid to dream it. Don't be afraid to really just let yourself get lost in the idea. It's okay to dream about what your dream home would be. Some people, I personally never used to want to dream about my dream home because it made me feel bad. I'm not there. I'm not in a position where I have that kind of money where I can make that happen. It makes me feel bad to think about it, so I don't want to think about it. And I didn't realize that that was perpetuating the cycle of staying where I was and not moving. And King of Pentacles at the end is telling us, if you want to get there, embody that energy. How many people have been telling you this? For how long? If you want to get there, you got to embody that energy. It starts with clearing out the muck, because these are the only bad cards in here. That's all you got to do, is just clear out the muck. You got to open up the windows. You got to do some cleansing. You got to take some salt baths. That's a an analogy, but yeah, you got to clear out the yucky stuff to get to the good stuff, because the good stuff is there, but you got to dare to imagine